Hey everybody, I had to move out of the sun. It keeps wanting to chase me down. So Sigma 6, I'm talking about the motorcycle today that's also a Ninja hover cycle is what they call it. And Sigma 6 is the code name for a new group of covert G.I. Joe operatives with highly specialized capabilities. They use innovative technology and gear designed exclusively for each of their missions. Working against them is an evil cobra organization whose goal is to take control of the world by sabotage, espionage, and outright destruction. Sigma 6 fights them at every turn and provides a swift solution to critical situations around the globe. Who remembers this back in 2005? This was a fantastic toy series, and this is why I'm showing you what I'm getting again. And hopefully I can use this with my Super Joes because I think they might work, especially this bike. It looks like it definitely could work. We'll look at that in a different video. I just want to focus on the bike this time. All right, so the Ninja bike, the Ninja hover bike, there's a white one also. It's a little different in the shape and design. I hope to get it eventually again too. Snake Eyes uses a dual mode hover cycle that has been custom designed for him. The Ninja hover cycle has extensive modifications for optimal performance under demanding conditions. I'm sorry if there's a wind that's distracting my voice, but it's also good to keep off the mosquitoes. All right, so the built-in ports hold Ninja weapons. So those little holes that on the backs of all these super action figures, there are little ports there for reasons. In motorcycle mode, it has a supercharged, sound-reduced engine to make it fast and silent. Even in the toughest situations, Snake Eyes can quickly convert the cycle to a hovercraft that has cyclone gravity cushion for swift air access. So, you can't escape on the boats because he can go after you there too. In either mode, it is a sleek and powerful vehicle for the Sigma 6 Ninja Commando. Now, I don't currently have him out in a handy. I only have 4 new figures and Zartan. Actually, I have 2 Zartans always handy. This one is the original Duke with the actual cloth. They came with cloth things. One of my favorites is Heavy Duty. You better believe I still have him out there somewhere. This is the Snake Eyes of first. This is from 2005, so these are all first editions of these guys. These 2 guys I got again. These are like a dime a dozen to find. Him, I know I didn't get rid of him. He's too awesome. I hope I didn't get rid of any of these. But anyway, then we have something called Switchfire, which is for, I guess back then kids played with this stuff too. On the side, we have a checklist of the weapons. We have a tonfa swords, kind of like katana. We have a whip star, which is like a ninja star with a chain on it. We have a projectile, which is, of course, a bullet. We have detonators, which are like, mines. We have an RFB system, gun. I guess they kept a gun on there. And we have 2 daggers. All right, and this side just has the Sigma 6 window. That's pretty cool. And here's the information in case you want to find it at your Target or Walmart. Let's take a look at the bike straight out of the package. I did not take any of the stuff off except for the 5. There were about 5 metal things. Now I haven't taken this rubber band off because it's holding the windshield down. Let me get back up here a little bit. It's a lot bigger than I'm used to reviewing things. I got used to reviewing big things again. That may have to be snapped off. It may be unable. It may no longer be pliable. Remember, this is like 20 years old. Yeah, this thing is 20 years old. So this rubber band may not be pliable. I may not be able to stretch it off. It may just break. I'm surprised it didn't crumble off. If it was from the 90s, it would have crumbled right off in my hands. So coming straight out of the package, we got this beautiful bike. So the steering wheel doesn't really work on it. And this unfortunately does not turn left or right. It does have the back wheel, which is already kind of splitting, so I hope I can keep it together when it's in bike mode. There we go. And of course some dirt from where the cats keep on jumping up here every 5 seconds when I'm not looking. I had to go inside and get something to drink and come out here and move the bike or move the table again. Uh-oh, hope I didn't break that. I was trying to think of how this works. All right, okay, so the kickstand comes down. I was thinking it might kick out, but no, it comes down, and hopefully I didn't just break it then because this is very old. Some of the plastic may have become brittle. Okay, there's the release button. So the button to release the hovercraft does 2 things. Let's look at it from the back this time. All right, ready? See, it moves this out and the thing's out to the side. There's a spring-loaded system under there. So it, pretends that it's actually a spring-loaded thing. I think the front, I want to say the front should also do something. Oh, there we go. So there's other buttons as well. See all these buttons? They do something. Here we go. So that springs over because it's supposed to all be parallel to the ground. This, I think, is going to either fire the bullet, which is not cocked. Yep. All right. So here are the schematics. I love the schematics because it looks like, an actual schematics. Tells you about what's in it, where you can put the katana sword. I do remember an episode where he had the katana sword in here, and he did this thing where he jumped in the air and spun around the back wheel and cut something to shreds. I like the instrument panel as well. So underneath that information right there, we got the instrument panel. So while he's riding, you can see his speed, his RPMs, the miles per gallon or whatever, I guess. I got cats all around me. It's like they're all coming after me. They're gonna get me. All right, so we can't get him to be on here, but we can get his buddy to be on here. And I know you're thinking they're enemies. Depends on which mythology you have. They're really friends, in my opinion. Here's the gun, and unfortunately, he doesn't have any ports on his back. So let's see if the actual ports work with. So see how the guns can actually go into the holes. So like if you want a sidearm, a literal sidearm, there we go. Got a sidearm. I always wondered, like, what would you put there? I don't remember anybody using that port. I definitely remember having weapons on the back. So let's take a look at some more of these weapons. Okay, here's that spin thing. Whoa, it must have had a magnetic thing because it's no longer. All right, I remember there's something you got to put right here. It's that thing. That's what I was thinking. But how does it go in there if something tells me that magnet's supposed to be. And of course, anything here is going to rust with a magnet. So it's got information like convert to hovercraft, customize, bouton, and the whipster. That's the flying frisbee thing. All right, so there. So I guess you turn that. I was thinking you had a button to push. That's how you turn it into the scroll thing. So I don't know. Does it go like this or like this? I guess it doesn't matter. And this one, I feel like there's that's a magnet. I bet you. I don't have anything magnetic out here. Ironically, I usually have the little micro men right beside of me, but they're not out here. All right, let's take out the weapons and see if they have any. All right, so these daggers don't have anything on the sides of them, so we can't just put them in the back. But they go very nicely in the hands. The hands are like the kung fu grip they used back in the day. When I was a kid, of course, you remember the Super Joes. Some of you do. These have the kung fu grip similar to the Super Joes, a little bit harder though, a little bit more stiff. And they also like the 20. Right after the Hall of Fame collection started getting the newer bodies, like the big burly bodies, not those. So there's where the magnets are rubbing off. All right, so these Tonfire blades, they can go on the back. He does not have a back thing. He does. So he can put it on the back. Whoa, the wind's actually blowing. Okay, the wind's great, but it's starting to blow stuff around here. And stuff I did not imagine would blow. All right, so, okay. I remember there was something about this. I think it's so you can use them like it says, a Tonfire. You don't have to use it like this is the handle. You can actually use this. I would probably use it like this personally. Like, like me personally, I like having one back sword and one front sword. I saw, oh, who was that? The guy who did that. I can't remember. It was a really cool Japanese, not anime. It was a live action. No, it wasn't. It was very not kiddie. It was very more. I'm beginning to think that something's wrong with his hips. It's like, okay, there we go. I was about to say I don't want to break him. I'm trying to get him to be able to straddle this bike. Okay, so we're gonna get him to get his arms up here on this. All right. This is the scary thing when you're working with something that's 20 years old and Owned by who knows who owned this before me. I got this off of eBay. All right, so here he is on the top. He looks really small compared to the bike. Let's turn it back into a bike. I like bikes. I mean, the hovercraft's a cool idea, but let's be honest, bikes roll. All right. He actually looks pretty darn small compared to that bike. So I'm thinking this might really work well with Super Joe, because these guys are just a tad bit shorter than Super Joe's. There we go. Yeah, that looks good though. He does, again, he looks really small compared to it. All right, so let's see. One more thing I know you guys are itching to see, and that is the missile. The missile does stick out in the front. We got headlights right there. We got super green lights, whatever they're for. And I didn't want to push it out too hard. It's not got that much pressure, to be honest with you. And there's not like one way it goes in. It goes in, it's round. So it could just be the spring is worn out because it's been 20 years sitting there. Yeah, it doesn't have much propulsion to it. And I thought this flipped up. All right, let me read the instructions, because I remember this flipping up for some reason. I thought that you floated disc in there and they shot out the front. Maybe that's the white bike. I had both bikes back in the day, and I hope I still do, but who knows. I don't see anything that tells you about pulling the shield up, do you? Nope, me neither. So I'm guessing you don't pull the shield up, and there's no reason for me to break it. So here he is from the front. There's the bike wheels. It's got the V going in the correct direction. That's good. A lot of people miss those things. It's got some Japanese on the side. Anybody can read that? Let me know. I love the color scheme. Of course, you know, I like black and green like Green Lantern. Maybe I should give this to my Amiga Green Lantern and see how he looks like it on it. On the bottom, we got pipes twisting around for some reason. I have no clue why. I've never seen that like that in my life. Usually they run parallel, you know, the exhaust pipes running from the bottom from the engine. Oh yeah, that's the... All right. I just wanted to show off this beautiful bike, and whenever I get the other bike in, it will be white. It will be geared for a 12-inch figure. But look how big this one looks compared to him. I'm figuring that they may have at one time made this for the 12-inch scale, and I don't know. I'm just getting back into this, and back when I had this, we didn't have, well, we did have the internet back then, didn't we? I just didn't think much about it then. But I'm thinking of before this, we really didn't have the internet back in the 90s. And that's probably, well, it would have some information here, wouldn't it? Like a year on it, like 1996. But comment, here's something. 2005? Nope, it was made for this line. But let me know in the comments, does this look like it's too big for him? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like ridiculously big, like he's a mouse on or anything, but it does look a little bit on the big side. But that's good, because usually you get something on the small side. Remember Sartan, when they made his swamp skier for the 2000 plus line of the little figures? I was very disappointed in that, I'm telling you what. All right, well, see you guys on the later day. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And again, I'm out here to connect with other adult collectors of the G.I. Joe series. And I got to get a bigger box for my Joes. They're already starting to overgrow this box. And I got other boxes. I just grabbed a box while I was in there. All right, so the weapons. I think I talked to you about everything. These little swords like this. Oh, one thing I did not talk about. I do remember this. The swords do become, the daggers do become part of the swords. And you can do the whole thing. So, that is another feature I completely forgot to mention. Let me see if there's anything else in here I didn't say, because I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes, which is way past that. Oh, it does show it right there, see? And there's actually a connector port that's obviously wedged in there, so if you want to put two longer swords together, I guess you can, oh yeah, see? So that connector port, if I pull it out the other way, you can have two short swords together and two long ones together. So there is a connector port that is like that. Nah, it's too small for this. This is more like 3mm port. And their holes in their chest are more like 5mm ports, which makes me want to get my Micronauts out and play with the Micronauts with them. I'm telling you, I freaking love these, and I'm glad to get back to them. You might be thinking, where's this pants at? Yeah, I about put them on them, and I thought, you know what? I do need to wash these pants. I did surface clean them, but I want to throw those in the washing machine. This person's kept them not in the best condition. Well, thanks for coming by, and let me know if you got the white bike for me. No, I'm just kidding. If you've gotten these, if you collected these, and hope to connect with more adults that are out there collecting this stuff, or have this stuff from their collection from the good old days. Look at that. There's even information on the tires. G.I. Joe, XPS. It's just like a real tire. It's got the 15/244 max, like and then speed 330 miles per hour. So it's got the max velocity you're supposed to drive with these things and everything. That's a good eye for detail. I love that kind of stuff. And great paint job. A little bit sloppy, but hey, it's better than not having it there at all. So fantastic. Guys, have a great day. I'm just stoked. I love this stuff.